Alright, we're back. But before we start, there's a very important comment from one of our favorite viewers, and by that I mean my only viewer.
Frieza, yeah.
Yeah. In the last video, not the 20-minute one, not the baby one, but the one before that, commented that he'd call Meekins king of the bottom, but that would give him a rank that he doesn't deserve. And me and Thel both agree that that's kind of like being king of the bottoms is a little bit of like counterintuitive, you know? Like, how are you king of the bottom? Well, actually, I guess if you're a power bottom.
Yeah.
That's the only way. Anyway, well, no, I already saved, so I'm just gonna continue. Alright. Yeah, the same day, but like 20 minutes later. Ow!
Yeah.
Thanks, computer, for the reminder. Anyway. Oh, Emma ran off. Oh no, Emma ran off! Shit! She was helpful sometimes. Fuck.
Yeah. Well.
Now this is hard mode.
Well, that's okay. You know, what was she gonna do? Summon her dead sister? Last minute?
No, but she might. I mean, considering she apparently was a witness to the to the case that's attached to this or whatever, like, she might have information we need.
Yeah.
She's gonna come in at like the last second or something. Be like, wait, hold on, and like stop the trial or something. I don't know. Alright. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand, the officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Yeah, me too, though. Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man same as you, wandering the trails of civilization.
Occasionally helping the elderly across intersections when needed. Yes, we get it.
Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. As for my name, it was not enough. You can hear it howling on the wind calling it out.
Are you pretending you're like super drunk? I know he's drinking in the middle of the courtroom, but to be exact, it's alright, so I guess Edgeworth has learned from his past fucking, like, trying to get people to tell them his name and occupation, because he's just not letting it happen now.
Yeah, he's no.
He's learned. He's evolved.
He's learned.
To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind. I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct?
According to papers, partner. What does that mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert lands. No paper can sum it up. What? Please share with us your testimony. In plain old English.
In plain old Japanese.
My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make the rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down.
Wow.
Just an innocent traveling man, so if you out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail.
I mean, unfortunately, I can specifically place you at the crime scene, and I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna do it.
I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. Can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Damn!
Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems?
I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those.
Yes.
Seeing as she asked me about them 2 years ago.
What about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers?
Fingerprint-activated locks? Shit, what kind of newfangled doohies are those? That sounds cool as hell.
Either he's faking not knowing about these, or he's not the one that went to get the evidence, which, to be honest, I didn't think it was the one that went to get the evidence, but Phoenix was banking on him being at least semi-responsible. He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines or with following orders.
Darn tootin'. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? Or should I say murderer? This one seems like trouble.
Only this one, Your Honor?
Okay, Mr. Wright, go ahead. Have at it.
Oh, great, thanks. Alright, so time to press everything, because that's the name of the game. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room?
I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who inherited the recordings.
Interred, but yeah.
Oh yeah, interred.
You interred them?
Videos and nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape.
If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours.
Each time I erased the tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life.
This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right?
Hey, you heard a word I said, Pardner. I told you that ain't my style.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
No desperado I know lets rules get in the way.
No desperados I know join the police force.
So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I ain't even set foot in the evidence room that day.
I mean, you say between you and me, but...
There was a rubber glove, a glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner, can't say I do. Haven't been in that crypt in weeks.
I mean, how does this guy avoid being fired? I mean, I know what I can press, but or what I can present, but I'm gonna keep pressing first. You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct?
Of course. Back in the day, the locker was a gold mine of evidence.
And yet you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism?
Sorry, partner, I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works.
That's quite incredible. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentioned it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too.
At any rate, it doesn't seem like this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what we were doing when the crime took place?
What were you doing in a place like that? Getting drunk.
I was eating spaghetti.
Yeah,
Even Angel
sure.
Steak Lunches can meet that parlor's Vogno sepia pasta. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to go to a saloon that serves spaghetti? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. What?
That's
What?
strange. This is usually where Edward says, "Did you not want to raise this year?" Oh, that's not Detective Gumshoe, you know. That's sort of like foreplay, you know.
Yeah.
Eh. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall?
That's right, partner, or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset.
I don't think it's that late.
One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Well,
Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I best let you keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I'd better up the ante. Okay. How do I up the ante?
that's a good question.
Hold on. He doesn't have an ID thingy. Yeah. Unless it's 777. Which we don't know, but...
Yeah.
Trying to think of what I could up the ante for. I mean, I'm assuming this is the upping of the ante. Just the handprint.
Yeah.
So... what?
Well, I think the handprint might have been the smoking gun, but,
Like... Well, because Phoenix said, like, I know... he implies as if I'm supposed to do, like, something before I do the handprint thing? But I don't know what else I could use. Rather, there's just the implication that there's supposed to be two things that I can do.
Yeah. The vase?
I mean... I don't have anything to fucking... Hello. Hi there.
Hi.
Jars no bottoms, so the hole goes right through. Wonder if it's really a jar, some kind of weird telescope. Maybe it's like an ocarina or something. There's a trace of old blood on this jar. This was evidence in the SL9 incident. Blood must be from back then. Is it, though? Is it? Is it, though? How certain are you of that? Right. Okay, so, I mean... Huh.
Maybe it's the files. Like that he was
Files?
part of the fucking thing.
Maybe? But I'm not sure where I'd present
all
that.
of the other... Yeah,
Hold on. Okay. Keep an eye on the orchard. He was supposed to make the rounds, but that's in his style. It's protected by 2 security systems. And apparently, him not knowing about the fucking locker fingerprint IDs isn't important. He says that he was at a street-side saloon the time it went down. Like, I don't have anything
Or maybe
to...
the smoking gun is the papers and the up the ante is the... I don't know. Maybe do just present the, like, the fingerprint.
I guess. Like, that's the only thing I can think... I mean, worst comes to worst, I get a little ouch.
Yeah.
Music stops, so I'm assuming this is right. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this?
No. Not really.
After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime.
And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner.
It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint.
Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is, I make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there.
I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood.
Witness! What the fuck? Your blood-stained fingerprints were on the crime scene?
Blood was wiped away, however, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall?
Seems to me, there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders.
I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall? Last minute
About the
pointing.
blood-stained fingerprints?
Oh. Apparently that was me, but whatever. Who cares?
Very well, go ahead.
Okay, bloodstained fingerprints.
Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. Murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was, by chance.
What?
Bloodstains and the fingerprint are completely unrelated.
It's your entire...
How would this fly? Objection! Or didn't you know that the murderer was wearing gloves?
How did you know that the murderer was wearing gloves?
Ooh, see? I ain't had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, Mr. How did you know?
Huh? What?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds about right. There's no room for doubt.
No, there's some room for doubt as well.
That wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. All right, defense, go ahead.
This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. All right. Well, once again, Phoenix Wright presses 2, Electric Boogaloo. That's because you, how did you put it? Pay your respects once a month.
Yep, that's right. And one more thing. That locker happened to be mine.
Okay, so this one wasn't the one that has the glove fingerprint, because that was on fucking Detective Gumshoe's. Detective Gumshoe had the glove handprint on the thing.
Yeah.
But that one had the fingerprint. Also, the blood is like specifically on finger, like, come on.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, if that's true, sir, that means that you can open up that locker and show us what's inside, like a
What?
shirt.
What do you mean? I meant what I said.
Mm-hmm.
That's the locker I used when I was a detective. Locker I still use. And that's in here now, though, the heap of broken dreams.
I see.
It'd be strange if our prints weren't all over that locker.
You're a little yummy.
Yeah.
Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from the locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. Alright. Okay. That's great. One of me is at the same place that— yes, some bullshit, come on. So then what about the bloody handprint?
Wouldn't mind. What? My locker is covered with fingerprints. It just so happened.
Yeah, okay, bullshit again, but let's press this. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1.
On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why?
Yeah, okay, sure. I gotta press everything, so. Unrelated.
These are different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, the other's a type of murder. He's right! That's true!
I don't see what
Well,
homonyms
cereal
have to do
really
with
just
this.
means a series of, but it's usually used in response to murderers, at least in the courtroom.
Yeah, let me just,
Or
press
robberies,
this,
actually.
How do you know
Serial
that?
robberies. I'm a judge.
No, that was Phoenix to Marshall.
I'm maybe a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports.
We figured that out, like, today. There was a blood stain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right, it was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too.
So that would mean the murderer, wearing gloves, happened to place their hands on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprints.
That's fucking stupid.
That's the only logical conclusion.
Oh,
You're starting to get the picture, partner.
this is the part where it's like, oh no, you're failing the picture.
This seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and it's this.
The security tape.
As long as my trail isn't on there, you can say otherwise. The shirt in his locker that showed up after the dude. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr.
Yes, it
Wright.
is.
Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now then, anyway, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall.
I don't need to press this one, motherfucker. Okay, hold on. How do I present this? Is that what I present? Do I present this part?
No, I think you present the video game.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, damn it.
What? It does? Objection overruled. Oh, god damn it. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, what? I was gonna do that, so. I guess I press this part to figure out what else I can give here. What do you mean by that?
Won't tell me this crime, isn't that right, partner?
Yes.
If so, that video's the only direct evidence you have.
Uh-huh. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots.
Blind spots? What are those?
Places you can't see. Drudge, you should know this.
Oh.
The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright.
Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence that
yes,
this
I can.
video indicates Officer Marshall was present,
Oh, yeah.
please do now.
We're gonna do this again, motherfucker. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Show us the incriminating evidence, Phoenix.
Alright. Fast forward. God, this is the longest video ever!
I mean, hey, it's cool. You can CGI now.
Woo! Alright, hold on. No, not yet. Pause is the backspace button.
Backspace,
so.
yeah.
Okay, so he's on the ground. And then... over here... Okay, so I guess this part is what I want to click on. Bitch. Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall.
Days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less?
Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video!
Exactly 8 words. Not bad, Pardner.
Edgeworth made me do this all the time. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. And I can't fast forward through this one. Okay.
Oh, that locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe.
Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Rewind it faster, please! Please, dear God, rewind it faster. Game. Game. Game.
Look at all the CGI it can do, though. Oh! The white cloth is gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall?
When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away.
Order! Order! It would seem that... Hold your horses. Sorry, partner. You got the wrong man.
How?
So what if my locker was open? Doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it.
It explicitly means that. Edgeworth's like,
The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. Not my fault he happened to choose mine.
Even the judge is like...
Why's everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man?
What? What? This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker.
Oh yeah? I call your bluff. See, I opened that locker and I'll prove it.
That's, oh wait. It's this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier!
Sensor.
We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to.
What kind of crazy talk is this?
Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. Chris locks aren't that obvious, or even some people on the force who don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? Bitch! What are you eating?
Jerky?
Does he just have jerky in his pocket?
I only got one word for you, partner. No!
Now the thing is, I don't think he's the murderer.
Order! Witness, explain yourself. if this is a joke, it's the worst joke I ever heard.
Oh, Emma and Lana are gonna, like, run in and stop this or something, and then there's gonna be more evidence, put the light or whatever.
Yeah.
I assure you, this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime.
Oh wait, please answer the question.
What is he now, a bullfighter?
I don't know what cowboys do.
That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here.
Oh?
Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet, Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall.
If that's so, then where was the witness?
It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right, the only possible conclusion.
Well then, let's hear it.
What's it? It's Officer Marshall was standing right here!
So Officer Meekins didn't notice him standing there. That's almost as credible as Meekins' warp theory.
Oh, wait, no. Oh, I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
mind me.
they
Hold on. Wrong
Chamber's
one.
empty, partner. Better reload. That's
Shut the fuck
a
up.
little bit more.
Alright.
Alright, go ahead. Try again.
So I guess...
You remember, Meekins was the killer, technically.
Oh,
See, he
right.
wasn't-
So... Okay, please, actually...
There, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was.
Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know...
Edgeworth.
Yeah?
Edgeworth. Why are you arguing against this? This doesn't prove the this has nothing to do with the idea that Lana Skye killed.
Well, well, if we prove that since we did prove, or we're trying to prove that this is connected to the thing, if we prove that this guy is responsible for it and also the connection, then that means that his prosecution case is, null. So, may I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted.
When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir.
Mm-hmm. What happened next?
He said he pulled a knife on me. I don't own a knife. You're
Something about the
shaving with
officer's
one.
story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it?
Oh, here it is, partner. Oh, fuck. God damn it. No, wrong thing. Yes, he would have needed it to use into the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it.
I mean, though, you remember what happened in the footage. I have to watch the entire thing instead of fast forwarding. Like, he fucking, immediately whips out a knife and starts attacking him. As far as the camera
it
is
looked like
concerned.
Officer Meekins was, sneaking up on him, though.
Kind of, yeah, but, also, why would the officer just decide to kill immediately?
Yeah.
But anyway, the answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall?
You got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence.
Oh, he's actually using big words. Circumstantial evidence? Still denying it.
You have to do better than that to break a detective. Once you have hard evidence proving I dressed up.
You mean the shirt that's in your locker?
Can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. Can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Well, Mr. Wright, do you care for my beard?
I don't have it. Yes, I do.
I can see the fear in your eyes,
I
partner.
literally...
Makes me a little horny. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat.
Yeah, this can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? Oh. What, edgy? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics.
Eat the victim.
The basics.
Drink their blood.
For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me.
That's
Phoenix,
what my
try thinking outside the box.
That's what my mentor told me. Just slurp the blood of the person on the witness stand. Just kill them.
That sounds like what Von Karma would say. I shouldn't look for
There
proof
are
that
only
Officer
three things in
Marshall
this
was
world:
this guy.
facts, logic, and murder.
Shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather I should look at evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place?
What?
There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker.
According to the defense's arguments, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
Well, it's obvious that he put the fucking shirt in there, but whatever. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside.
So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth?
Perhaps the video is the key to all of our unanswered questions! I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot! Also, Edgeworth is helping.
Very well.
How-
Let's take yet another look at the security tape.
Yeah, so, I find it interesting that Edgeworth is helping right now, and that makes me think that some more bad shit's gonna happen to Edgeworth. Not gonna lie. Alright, yes, alright, hold on. Enter fast forward? Wait. Is there a part where it shows that there's blood on the cloth? Hold on. Okay, so... Yes! There is!
Whoa.
Right? There.
Yeah.
For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet.
Yeah.
However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood.
A bloody white coat.
You couldn't just walk out like that. Although... this has blood on it. I don't think it's the same as Detective Goodman's coat, though. I think it's missing something. I think it's missing the labels.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, that concerns me, but I think it's a different coat, so we should be fine with that.
Okay.
Also, Meekins might not recognize Detective Goodman, but he would recognize whether it was a man or a woman, maybe. Hopefully.
Maybe.
Anyway, you couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker.
Not bad, partner.
Ha 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 ha! Okay, but wait.
Now then, Officer Marshall. Are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all.
Especially because you started working together for some fucking reason.
I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago. If you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now, now would we?
Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it.
Alright. Seems the time has come.
Marshall's confession.
I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID, dressed like him, and planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. There wasn't any murder at the evidence room at 5:15. So the victim was you.
But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be?
Oh, Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is that he's the donor.
It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Oh, great, I get to press the shit out of this. Fantastic. When you say it, you mean...
Do you even have to ask, partner?
Yes, I'm obligated to ask as a stupid protagonist. SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with a transferal that day. Except that it's not how it literally has worked in every... There's a 7... statute... Oh wait, no, that's if it's unsolved. That's right. We talked about this before. If it's unsolved, 7 years is, like, I think the longest.
Yeah.
Well, wait, no. But those were solved, though. Because Edgeworth's case, like, someone else got in trouble for killing Edgeworth's dad, and it was the guy that was in the elevator. The other guy, who didn't kill Edgeworth's dad. So, 7 years was the statute of limitations for that. So why is this for 2? Is it different when it involves, like, a cop? Or something? Is that what it is?
Maybe.
Because in a later title in the series down the line, there's another instance of, like, oh, this case is gonna close soon, we gotta solve it kind of thing. And it's like, it would happen 7 years ago kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
So, this is weird. But whatever, I guess.
Not if I have anything to do with it. The incident's not over.
Well, what do you hope to accomplish by seeking into the allegation?
When a case is closed, only a case's lead detective can look through the evidence.
Goodman.
I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. Which in this case happened to be Meekins' hand. It got cut up a little bit. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine.
I wonder if Goodman was working with the police. Like, the chief of police to cover shit up. Because, hold on. Okay, so the perpetrator is Joe Dark, or whatever. Let's see. None of Goodman's things are, and Gant isn't a part of this either. But the head investigator is Bruce Goodman. Executive investigators is Damon Gaunt and Lana Skye. And then Jake and Angel are just normal investigators. So, like, only Bruce Goodman would be allowed to look at the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And Jake Marshall might have been really upset about that because his brother slash father slash son, it's unclear, got killed by the serial killer. And I'm assuming that Jake doesn't think that it was the person who did it, or the person that was told did it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Bruce, because if only Bruce can look at it, that would make sense why Jake would steal Bruce's shit to go look at it. But if only Bruce could look at it, and they were, like, compadres or whatever, then obviously Jake would be like, hey, can you look at this thing and shit? And Bruce would probably be like, yeah, sure, because, I mean, he could do that. It would just be like, instead of going home early on a Friday night, he could just go do that. Whatever. But because he's not, I think that these two were working together. I think they were in cahoots. I don't think Goodman was actually Goodman. I think he was Badman.
Whoa.
Anyway, let me go back to the actual shit that's going on. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? What? Phoenix! You saw the
names. That
names.
was my last chance. That's why.
Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman?
It didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying around the evidence transferal. I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere.
Ah, so you did it to fool the security camera.
And the detective's ID card?
I stole that the morning. Oh, that's you. Sorry.
I stole that the morning of the incident.
It was the beef jerky. It possessed me.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that really was why Goodman was started filling out that lost item report.
I returned his ID card. I felt it on the floor of the prosecutor's I left it on the floor of the prosecutor's office parking lot.
The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight.
What do you mean, partner?
I mean, the fingerprints activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. I mean, can, but... You know. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could, because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That's a little strange that it did.
Yeah.
Miss Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. That is weird. Why would...
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. If Goodman could go do, like, the data or the evidence transfer, why would he go in there to open it, like... I would assume that it would happen the day of, right?
Yeah.
Actually, hold on. Where's the fucking... this? Let me look at this again. Bruce Goodman apparently came out in 5:13, and if it's erased every 6 hours, that means, like... he would have come, like... at the earliest, like, with, like, the last 6-hour timestamp or whatever, right? So why would he go look at the evidence? Like, that he's gonna go transfer? I don't know, this is really weird. Because the glove was there. Maybe Goodman put it there, not so that he would get it out or that Jake would get it out. Maybe because he's working, because he's Badman, he wanted Gant to go get it. I just really want Gant to be the responsible for this. I just want Gant in jail. I hate him.
Yeah. Put Daddy Satan in jail.
He pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off.
Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekin certainly is a 1 in a million type person. Making a detective for an intruder, mistaking... yeah, shit, sorry. A detective for an intruder and demanding he show his ID.
I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. That took a while. When did Edgeworth get so much influence?
Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. Sorry it had to turn out that way, but I think he's gonna be fine. With me knocking him out and everything, that, you know...
By the way, what happened to your knife?
Oh, you mean this one?
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I don't know what you expected. So anyway, so you mocked over Officer Meekins.
And
managed to escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you did your research beforehand.
Those who go in the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I don't think it would make a difference, though. The security cape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left.
However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins.
Someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. Up in my locker and started in there.
Stashed, but yes.
Stashed.
What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? Being passed out.
He was sleeping. I punched him. So what you're saying is on that day...
But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place.
What, are you blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner.
So you stole the evidence from the locker?
Actually, no, I didn't.
Why? Why not?
When I opened the locker, the evidence is already gone.
Which is why he would have already been in there, I guess, question mark.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, where's the evidence?
Well, wait, hold on. There's... No, not that one. There's this knife that was in the defendant's muffler, which was in Edgeworth's car. There's this glove that was stuck in the locker, which I guess he didn't notice because it fell while he was opening it or something. But that does beg the question of what other stuff. Also, for some reason, Officer Meekins, I think, was told to bring this, and this is now in our evidence thing for some reason, which implies it's gonna be important. I wonder what fucking case this one is. Anyway.
Case of the screwdriver murderer.
It's still missing, Your Honor. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing?
Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer.
I mean, not
No!
right now, actually.
No, this is court. I mean, we can hold you in...
Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer? This is no small offense. Moreover,
he could plead the fifth, but this is a
Yeah.
Japanese court, and I have no idea how that works.
Yeah. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid option.
Like I said, this isn't your case. This one's mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear him out.
Okay, sure.
I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why?
I know why. But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room.
Why are you such a yawny baby?
Ah, I need to be right back. I think I need
Yeah,
to get
go-
more some fucking drink.
Go do that.
Uh,
Okay, we are back.
Yeah, I'm back. I had to get some tea, and I think I'm good now. I think.
Better be.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
that's... I forget if you read this line.
The reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. That's the...
Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence.
I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial killers, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What? I mean, I was there, but
Yeah,
what? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. Better take a look at the files! Okay, hold on. Managed to escape, knew which wasn't a murder. You know why? Yeah. Yeah. Let me just check. Which page is it? The victim's page, which is page number 2. Because it's relative of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, music stops. Surprise. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident.
Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner.
Oh god, he watches Avatar.
It's the quenchiest.
I have the SL9 incident file right here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. Twice, actually. And a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall?
Yeah. I'm sure you heard the name. 2 years ago. He received the same lousy prosecutor award that you got.
Oh no.
Oh god,
Someone's gonna try to kill Edgeworth.
I'm sorry, was he just the, now I ain't no fancy city lawyer, but...
And also, it flashed by so quickly, but did you see if this thing was a full shield?
I could not. It might have been. I was not paying enough attention.
Hold on, let me... oh. I'm glad...
Grand Moff Tarkin from Star Wars.
Okay, well, anyway.
What? A prosecutor?
You must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. How do you forget that? He handled the SL9 case before I did.
That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? Judge, are you...
Yeah.
Judge, are you dumb as rocks? Do you see... see any resemblance there? He was my brother. He was investigating murders with Damon Grant, the deputy chief of police.
Keep calling him Grant, but he's Gant.
Yeah, that's true. Damon Nat.
Oh, wait. No, wait, okay.
The group of detectives I was part of worked under him. We were the desperate
that's
to
who this
prosecute the killer.
is. That's who this person is.
Oh yeah, Cowboy number 2. We were talking about that.
Yeah, I thought it was
we were like, why is there a second cowboy?
Yeah, we were like, I thought maybe it was like Gant, but with a cowboy hat for some reason, because it was like, I don't know, he was 61
Back
instead of 63.
in my day, I was a cowboy.
Okay.
I was a cat.
Ah, okay. Well,
He is just Grand Moff Tarkin.
Joe Dark is his name, apparently. Also, I started.
Oh no,
reading
no. I
the
mean, let's be real. This is Mads Mikkelsen. This is him. This is just Hannibal, isn't it? That's just Hannibal.
You know, it might be.
That is just Hannibal.
Anyway.
My brother fought Jark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. You caught me, Jake. You finally caught your Joe Dark. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed.
Hold on. I guess that was supposed to be the knife. The one that flashed on the screen, except it's missing thing. Oh my god, wait a second. Does that have his brother's blood on it? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's awful.
At least, according to the public record.
Oh,
What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight, unless they were 6'5" and burly.
And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions?
There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. My hat teleports to my head. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime.
And that was the last day the SO9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with this resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The
You're
things
still
that
forgetting the case that
Yeah.
you're fucking currently arguing.
The things that happened by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going at the police department. Chance? It's gotta be more than just that.
So, if one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, if no one, I mean, that means the murderer in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one. Okay.
That's not necessarily true either. Like, since there was a lot of blood apparently found in the evidence room, more than like a hand wound could do, Goodman might have been killed in there and transported secretly. Granted, it'd be a lot more difficult, you know, like how are they gonna transport him? But like, I don't know, it's just strange. Also, where was the award ceremony taking place? Was that at the prosecutor's building? Did they do it at the fucking...
I think. Or maybe it's at the police station?
Like, because if it was at the police station, then that means that Goodman can be hidden into Edgeworth's car. Like, if the ceremony is there, that means Edgeworth's car is there. So the body could be hidden in there and then transported over to the other place, which means that when it, like, gets there and everything, and then the prosecutor, for some reason, would be I guess Lana would go into his trunk for something. Maybe Edgeworth asked if she could get something out of there or something like that, and then opens the trunk, and then there's the body in there. And then it's like, oh my gosh. Well, wait, but she has the bloody coat, though. Like, that is, like, where'd the the coat get the blood? But I mean, everyone's cutting their hands. Maybe she cut her hand and got blood on her own coat. I don't fucking know. The point is, this isn't as cut and dry as they keep trying to tell me it is. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. Objection! Fuck you! But wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial. Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department.
Seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner.
All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. That's a lie. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. Oh, damn it, he's turning it around on me.
Objection!
Arrgh! I rest my case. Fuck.
Seems that this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt.
Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the scary cameras tape clearly was fake, but I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty.
Yeah. Don't know how, Mr. Wright. Anyway, the court finds the defendant.
Yeah, this is the part where someone's like, objection! Hold it. Who said hold it? Yeah! Your Honor, wait! Emma, you finally came back. The defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right? What do you mean, right?
Mr. Wright.
What?
Are you this girl's guardian?
Your Honor? Oh, in a sense. Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking for is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. If you want a minute, I'll give you 3. Oh, how generous. He does have a heart.
And I have a heart for him. Here, you want to be my Valentine?
What? No. You're 12.
Oh.
I was
I'm
kind
14.
of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dart killings. Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky's sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing, the other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker? But
well, no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So, I ran over there and looked at it again. So did you find something? No. Yeah, no. Huh? Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad, I'm just a high school student! And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh, boy.
Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright, with regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain?
It appears that the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Yes, it was here for some reason. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use, but still,
well, I mean,
if we can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Well, I mean, like, Goodman did show up at that point in time. I'm pretty sure Goodman was on that
yes,
twice.
Your Honor. If ever I've needed to concentrate, it's now. No, remember, Goodman's ID was used by What's-His-Face.
Oh, yeah, he was only used once? Yeah, okay, never mind.
Yeah, which was right when Meekin's got up there.
Yeah,
Granted,
okay, yeah.
There is this. Like,
There
this.
was a 777, yeah.
Like, this, we still haven't figured out whose that is. The other thing would be to imply Miles Edgeworth, which I don't want to do. It better not be what this is. Anyway, what could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? There's no problem. Alright.
No, man, I guess my client is guilty.
Why would there be a handprint there? Wait, hold on a second. Isn't that directly in front of the Blue Badger? Or isn't the Blue Badger directly... Was someone hiding behind the Blue Badger?
Ooh.
Oh my god, I'm gonna go look at the footage. I'm gonna go look at the fucking footage. I'm gonna go look at the footage. I'm gonna check it. I don't care if it's in slow motion. Okay. Watch behind the Blue Badger, man.
Okay.
I know that there's a handprint there on his face, so that's kind of important. I don't even care that it's not fast-forwarded right now. I am looking for a motherfucker. Let's see, something hiding over there. I mean, they'd have to be small, wouldn't they? In order to hide behind the blue badger.
Yeah.
This might not be it. But, like, still, like, there's apparently blind spots for this camera.
Yeah.
So someone who knows about the blind spots would be able to deal with that. Rip Meekins.
Yeah.
But still, very obviously, the blue badger is right in front of this locker. So someone could hide behind that. Like, that's still an issue. Okay, did it loop again? Yeah, it's looping. Okay. So yeah. We can't see the floor, so I can't be like, this was missing. I don't think we saw any more lights, right? Wait, did we see any more lights? Hold on, I'm about to watch this bitch again. No, that one's not on. Yeah, I think this one's the only one that's on right now.
Yeah.
And fucking Gumshoe would have to, like, come in the middle of this to turn on the light, so... Alright, so I guess it's not that. Okay, so the blood stain here, bloody handprint here on Marshall's, and bloody handprint here on Gumshoe's. Which is right next to the... I really do feel like it has to be, like, hiding behind the blue badger.
Yeah.
But wait, hold on. Luminol doesn't just react to blood, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't it react to other stuff? I mean, obviously the joke is like, heh, semen, but like, doesn't it also react to other substances? Like paint.
Maybe. Yeah.
And, I mean, I could see someone wearing gloves while painting, you know?
I would like to call our next witness.
Yeah, so maybe that is what that handprint's for. Unfortunately, that doesn't provide me much unless it's like, this is the murderer that did it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to... Okay, hold on. I'm gonna look at all the evidence again. Okay, so this is the ID number of what's-his-face. Is there anything on here that's strange? And that... that's the people that got it. Can I look at that again? Manfred von Karma. No, doesn't tell me anything else. Wait. Wait a second. This plate is screwed in. We have a screwdriver in our evidence. I swear to God, if we have to unscrew this later, I'm gonna scream.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, I mean, look at it.
Yeah.
Why else would we be examining this damn thing? I bet there's evidence hidden inside this fucking statue. And that's why someone would want it back. That's why someone would want it. I wonder if fucking Neil What's-His-Face hid it in here.
Oh, fuck. To try and frame Edgeworth again.
Well, no, Neil's the one that died by the dude. But, like, maybe Neil was, like, suspicious of, like, the fact... Maybe Neil was like, no, this guy didn't actually do the murders, and it was someone else. And then someone realized that he was getting on to him. But then Neil was like, oh, no, someone knows that I'm getting on to them, so he hid the evidence in here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably reaching, but we've had stranger things happen, so... There was the thinker clock, so, I mean, they've already done it once in this game. Traces of victims' blood and no footprints. No prints. This apparently has Goodman's blood on it. I mean, it's because it says victim's blood, so...
Yeah.
face. I wanted to got time with the hand on my just gloves. Okay, Edgeworth. Or Phoenix, rather. Okay. This... Okay. So my thought is... maybe... What's-his-face was killed in here earlier somehow, but the footage was erased, right? Because What's-his-face isn't there. So, you know, how the fuck is he gonna see? And someone cleaned it up. So the murder happened, and that's why there's that weirdly, like, large pile of blood or whatever.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any kind of sense for, like, a hand stab wound.
Maybe.
So, which, ooh, maybe, okay, Goodman went to go do the transferal early, maybe. Or maybe he was going to steal the evidence as well, and then the asshole demon guy killed him and took the evidence because the locker was already open at that time. And maybe he just, like, forgot the glove or something and closed it, but it wasn't closed all the way. So then it was able to be opened. I don't know, I'm fucking reaching. I'm trying to figure out what... I'm just trying to figure out what.
Yeah.
Okay, lots of blood from chest wound. The word muffler was overheard during a call made to Emma. Oh, no, it's not gonna let me hear it again. Okay, but someone called Emma. So maybe Lana and Bruce and Jake were all in it to hide the evidence so that they could do more investigation. Which is why Lana would have the evidence knife, the SL9 incident knife, in a muffler in Edgeworth's, like, tailpipe. Because then that hides it pretty good. Then they were trying to get the evidence from the other evidence from the locker, but it was apparently not there. I don't know. This is just really weird. I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to present to show, like, missing stuff.
Yeah.
I really do get the feeling that someone killed him and threw him into the trunk, and then later he tried to, like, maybe he was, like, dying or something. Because, I mean, you notice on the autopsy, it said he died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. That's within an hour and a half before or after. Like, you know, like, so it could have happened beforehand. Okay, alright, so this is the picture that... You know, it would kind of make sense if Bruce Goodman was thrown into the trunk and was, like, almost dead, but not really dead, so then What's-Her-Face, like, gets out of or is, like, looking at Lana opening the trunk or something, and Bruce Goodman's like, oh, I'm dying, but it looks like Lana is attacking him or something, and then he dies, and it's like, ah! So maybe that's it.
Maybe.
But this is still a really weird photo.
Yeah.
Because she's not like, oh no, he's dead or something, you know?
Yeah, she's pretty calm.
So maybe there isn't a dead body in there right now. I don't know. I mean, when you're shocked, you know, you're shocked. But still. Bears traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Skye, which is the victim's shoe. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, man.
Maybe we keep going through the case.
Hold on. Oh, well, no, at this point, I'm supposed to say whether there's a problem or not.
Ah.
No, I don't want that. I want that weird mark on the handle, you piece of shit. Ugh. I'm angry. I can't look. It just lets me look at the tag. It doesn't let me look at the weird fucking stain or whatever, like handprint stain. Okay. That's the stuff I spray. This is the IDs, which I've already looked at 20 times. This is to look at fingerprints. This is the screwdriver that was brought for some reason, which it would make sense if Gant knew that the evidence was in the trophy or found out that the evidence was in the trophy, he would be like, yes, bring this screwdriver there so that I could fucking use it. We already figured out what that is. This is the evidence room. This is this fucking glove. Is there anything on here other than the fucking SL9 tag, or are you just gonna tell me the SL9 tag? Why would you use a super thin glove if you're trying to hide your fingerprints?
Yeah, it works.
I mean, if it's super thin, I feel like that it could be like ripped easy or something like that, which would then compromise your ability to be hidden. Yeah. Wait, what can I check? What? 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 What the fuck am I checking? What? Okay. I already looked the shit out of this thing. Still don't know what that's about.
Yeah.
We looked at this. Also, what can I check of this? It does seem like someone who was, like, on the right-hand side or something, like, came over and, like, placed their hand on it and then slid left.
Yeah.
Probably while they were hiding behind the fucking badger. Anyway, I already watched that, and I already looked at this, so... What's the odd thing? What's the thing that I can use? I'm not sure what I can use. I mean, what would tie back to this fucking locker?
I don't know.
What would... Why would someone leave a handprint there?
Maybe it is the handprint on the boy.
Like, I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, worth a shot, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the other hand, like the one that we saw on... Excuse me. The one that we saw on this, like, that's the pinky, I'm pretty sure. Is that the pinky?
Yeah.
Wait, no, that might be the thumb.
Maybe.
Oh wait, no, I don't remember. No, this is Marshall's. What I'm thinking of is the one that was on Gumshoes. I don't remember what hand, if that was the left or right one.
Yeah.
Because the one that's on Blue Badger Boy is someone's left hand. So, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I have to say that I object. I just don't have an idea.
Yeah.
This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. Okay, so apparently it's someone's right hand.
Yeah.
Which is the opposite of this one. I'm not sure. I mean, I have to say there's a contradiction, obviously.
Yeah.
The only thing that seems clear is that you're grasping, Mr. Wright.
You've been You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans for like 20 minutes now.
Shut up.
Tell me, is there a problem with them?
Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Uh-huh. Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Alright, I guess
Let us play the defense isn't simply trying to buy time again. Alright, go ahead.
Here. There's gotta be something I can use. Which I can prove something is missing. I mean, I'm gonna assume it's Blue Badger Boy.
Yeah, let's roll the dice on the boy. Well, the music did stop.
Yeah.
What about that piece of plywood?
And that sounds unique to the Badger, so... The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here.
So?
So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well,
what?
Oh, which means the Blue Badger's in the way, which means that handprint was put on there beforehand.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
yeah, definitely.
Kind of proves my thought. Or technically it could have also happened afterwards, but, you know. I'm assuming there would be video footage of someone else being in there and doing that. So, what that means is that it had to have happened beforehand. That's right! So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at the spot on the locker.
Ugh.
I love the poncho going behind him.
This man doesn't just have Ghibli hair, he has Ghibli poncho.
Yeah.
Oh, so that means...
It means it can't be done.
Oh! So, like, the blood traces were undeniably found at the locker, though, right?
Don't look at me, I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Okay, Emma. Also, you're back over here this time. On that afternoon, Officer Beacons was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in.
Just one moment, I will not allow such a far-fetched balderdash into my courtroom.
What? It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time.
Yeah, and also, our dude specifically said the things had already been taken out. Like, he came to retrieve the stuff, and they weren't there. So they were taken out at that point.
Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been... Detective Goodman when he was really murdered! That's ridiculous! I refuse to accept your absurd claim! The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? Well, it had to have happened before fucking 420 Blaze It.
Yeah. To summarize, the defense claims that, prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room.
That's right, the blood mark on the locker proves this.
Very well, then tell us what's up.
Wait a second, when was the transferal supposed to be happening? Like, they said, like, today, but they didn't give us the time specifically for that transferal. Anyway.
When did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented.
Along with that, there's a thing that I pointed out about within an hour and a half of 4 p.m., which doesn't necessarily mean after. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that could show that.
Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? I'll check the parking ticket real quick.
Well, the parking ticket is when Edgeworth's card got theirs, and that was 5:12. So it's not that. It had
to be before that, yeah.
Okay, so for one, there's the autopsy that says within an hour and a half of 4 p.m., which seems like the obvious thing. There's also the... What other thing was I talking about? It might just be the autopsy then. Oh, the amount of blood that was on the floor. That doesn't tell me when, though, so I'm assuming it's this. I'm hoping it's this. This is the proof! It's quite simple, you see. If it's so simple, then don't get it wrong. Damn it.
Nope.
Okay. First crime took place before the Blue Badger was brought to the room, right? Say, when was the Blue Badger brought there anyway? Oh. I'm an idiot. Alright. Hold on. It's the fucking... It is the timestamp, because Meekins came in 4:50 at first, and then he comes in again later, so it's this. I forgot. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it, and in order to do so, an ID card would have been required.
Oh, yeah, the ID card record, yeah.
Officer Meekins brought... Don't... I swear to God, if it's like, oh, it's Miles Edgeworth, I'm gonna scream. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at...
4:50. Oh, that was you. That was me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's see here. 4:50 p.m.
Well, why wouldn't Phoenix just say that?
So if the crime took place before that time, then it would be
either Edgeworth or this mysterious number or someone that came in before this record. God damn it.
4:40 p.m. Miles Edgeworth. Just what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy.
I'm not the... Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me.
No, I don't. I don't. I don't either.
Yeah, because Miles Edgeworth was at the ceremony. It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible.
That would mean the crime must have been taken before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence
Thank
room.
you. Okay, I'm glad we didn't chase that fucking rabbit hole. Let's look at the chart again. Huh. Who? There's only one other card number remaining. All sevens.
Talk about a lucky number. 420. But wait, that doesn't make sense.
Why?
How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room?
Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered it along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with all sevens. With lucky sevens.
Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 77777.
That's 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least, at present. What?
Explain yourself, boy.
The ID number belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher, someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. Why not?
Why not?
But that's ridiculous! Just how—
Yeah.
I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority.
Murder were committed. If an official charge is filed against the executive is accepted.
An official charge.
You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates.
I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself.
Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question.
Yes.
No, not to you. Sir, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive.
Lana? Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not all the sevens.
Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. The SL9 incident? Shut the fuck up. Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence?
Hi, Lana. Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? For some reason, we're fucking going through with this. I don't understand why.
Hired and fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, we...
Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did.
Lana?
I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant! Just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't. I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to do in order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
But Lana.
Even if it involved forging evidence. Well, now I know why they broke up.
Yeah.
I
Why is it?
know I
Why are
didn't
we
get the dogs.
flashing the?
See, that's what I'm talking about.
No. No.
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Lana's remarks caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. Wow, that's how fucking crazy it was.
It was a fucking riot.
Holy shit. Damn. Yeah? Jeez. Alright. Fuck, dude. Damn.
Yeah, damn.
Jeez.
You mind if I go make a pot of coffee before we do the next one?
Yeah, no, you're good. Fucking, like, holy shit, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I figured there was some shit going down, but also, holy shit, though.
Yeah.
Alright, go get your coffee, bitch.
I'm gonna go get my coffee. You can pause the recording.
Yeah.